Hey guys, so I went over your exercise one expressing memories from the Disney Pixar in a box activity. And what I noticed was that you guys were not really using the techniques and the characteristics of narrative to tell about this memory. What you were doing is you were kind of taking an approach and just sort of telling me the actions. Okay, you weren't really using narrative writing technique, and so I kind of wanted to take a minute to sort of show you how to do that. So I'm just going to on my screen here where I've got expressing memories exercise one. So first of all, you need to know that there are different stages to the writing process, and so this kind of thinking that I'm getting ready to do right now it's brainstorming. And if I had my pen or something that you could kind of see me handwrite things, you would probably see me kind of jotting down some different memories that I've maybe had, like since I was a kid or something, like the different ones I want to talk about. Because I'm kind of like thinking to myself, okay, I'm interpreting the question. So think of a memory that you remember vividly. So right now I'm going to kind of go through the first part of the writing process, which is brainstorming and just kind of dumping some of those thoughts. So there was my favorite tree. That's kind of a memory. I've written about that before, actually. I think that's probably what comes to my mind. Freshman year, and it was Dakin and Valerie. Um, there was sixth grade Christmas. I think I spelled Valerie wrong. Stop making fun of me. It's not very kind of you. Okay, so I've got a couple of, I don't really like those. I don't really want to write about those. Let's see if I can think of another one. I think I'm gonna have to go with that one. So, okay, so think of a memory that you can remember vividly. All right. So the reason I kind of wrote this one down is because I can see all three of these, like kind of a picture in my mind. So it says the directions say, so notice what I'm doing. I am brainstorming. I'm kind of thinking here. I'm getting ready to kind of move into the second stage of the writing process, which is drafting. And you have to be very careful when you move into that second stage of the writing process that you don't limit yourself for perfection, because real writers don't do that. Real writers kind of jump around in brainstorming, and there's different methods to brainstorming. And then they kind of just sort of jump into the drafting part, and they don't really worry about editing and making it perfect right now. So, and anytime that you have any kind of an assignment or anything, you like a writing assignment, you'll want to kind of go through this writing process. And we're going to talk more about the writing process probably towards the end of class today, because you're going to have to know what those stages are. But I kind of wanted to just take a little bit of time today to kind of go back into this and kind of help you see how to beef it up. And so instead of like lecturing you, I'm going to show you how to do it by doing it in front of you. So, okay, so I'm not even going to worry about these questions right now. So I'm just going to start writing here. I don't like how it's double spaced there. Like that's driving me insane. Single. Okay. My favorite tree. All right. So I'm going to go back to this memory. I was 16 years old. No, I was 18. I gotta have my writing music on. Okay. Don't make fun of that either. Horrible creatures. The reason I listen to music that doesn't have lyrics in it is because it helps me concentrate when I write. Kind of helps me focus. So let's see. I'll never forget that day. So this was a memory when I was in high school, and it was actually the last day of school, and I was 18 years old, and there used to be this giant oak tree in my parents' front yard, and it was the last day of school, and I drove this ridiculous car that I hated at the time. It was this 1978 Oldsmobile Cutlass, and I hated it. I absolutely hated this car. Now looking back, I realized it was kind of a cool car. It was kind of a retro car. But anyway, so I had this car, and I remember like these giant windows. I had the windows rolled down, and it was hot, and it was like life was getting ready to sort of begin for me, and I was that summer I was going to go over to Quincy, Illinois, and kind of start my college a little bit early. I was going to play basketball for John Wood Community College, and just life was exciting at that point. And I'll never forget this day because it was the last day of school and it seemed like it was the last day of my childhood. And it kind of hit me upside the head because I drove home that day and this tree that had been there ever since I was a little girl, it was cut down that day by the REC and they had butchered it, like completely butchered it. And the tree, um, I'll never forget that day. And that was so many years ago. So that's what I'm writing about right now. Okay. So remember, narrative writing has a beginning, middle, and end. It tells a story that's kind of based on real or imagined events, or memories. Um, it is the voice in narrative writing is conversational and storyfied, so it's personal. And it the key about narrative writing is it doesn't just tell you; it brings the reader into the time, the place, the setting with you. Okay, so that's what I'm going to try to show you how to do today. I'll never forget that day.